Good morning, ma'am. I am here to demonstrate the measuring rectal temperature, measuring pulse rate, measuring respiratory rate, and measuring blood pressure. First is measuring rectal temperature. Procedures. Identify the patient, introduce yourself, and explain the procedure to the patient. Next, ask the patient to remove clothing from waist down, drape as necessary. Next, position patient in Sims position. Next, lubricate the thermometer with water-based lubricating jelly. Spread Botox and gently insert thermometer into the rectum past the sphincter. 1.5 inch for adult. Next, hold the Botox together while holding the thermometer. Do not let go the thermometer. Next, hold in place until beep is heard. Read the result on the digital display window. Next, remove from the rectum and disinfect the thermometer. Then next, remove the gloves, discard in biohazard waste container, and wash hands. Next is offer tissue to patient to wipe anus. Assist patient in dressing and position as necessary. Place clean thermometer in alcohol for 30 minutes. Then next, record temperature in patient charts indicating rectal temperature. Next is the measuring pulse rate. First is a procedure. Identify the patient, introduce yourself, and explain the procedure to the patient. A. Radial pulse. First is position patient with wrist resting either on a table or lap. Then next is locate the radial pulse with the pads of your first 3 fingers. Do not use the thumb. It has its own pulse. Next, gently compress the radial artery enough to feel the pulse. Next is note any irregularities in rhythm, volume, and condition of artery. Next, measuring respiratory rate. First, identify the patient and introduce yourself. Then next is position patient in comfortable position. Next, watch the rise and fall of the chest wall for 1 minute or while holding the patient's arm. Place it across the chest and feel the rise and fall of the chest wall. Alternatively, place a hand on patient's shoulder and feel and watch for the rise and fall of the chest wall. Next is note the depth and breath sounds while counting. Next is wash hands. Next, record the respiration rate in patient's chart, noting any irregular sounds. Next is the measuring blood pressure. Procedure. Identify patient, introduce yourself, and explain the procedure to the patient. Next, position the patient comfortably, feet flat on the floor, arm resting at heart level on the lap or a table. Next, bare right upper arm. If clothing is restricting, have the patient remove them. Next, palpate the radial pulse and smoothly inflate the cuff until pulse is no longer palpate. Note the number. Next, quickly deflate the cuff is deflated completely. Position the stethoscope over the bronchial artery and hold in position with the fingers only. Next, inflame the cuff smoothly and quickly to the peak of inflation level plus 30 mmHg. Next, deflate the cuff at rate of 2 to 4 mmHg per sound. Next, listen for correct cough phase 1. Note when it appears. Next, continue to deflate, noting the correct cough phase. Next is note when all sounds disappear. Correct cough D. Next, continue deflating the cough at the same rate for at least 10 mmHg after the sounds have disappeared. Next, deflate the cough quickly. Next, remove the cough. Next, clean the earpiece and diaphragm bell of the stethoscope. Then next, wash hands. And last, record blood pressure in patient's chart. I'm here to do the rectum temperature. The both together while holding their palm.
Sige.